So it's a tough question as well too, but I'll look at it from this perspective as well too. And I'll just then take a step back again. And so just looking at, you know, the conveyor belt that's built. I don't know if you guys, you know, watch, what was it? I'm not talking about kind of just a conveyor belt that's built, and it's a really good book as well too. So one of the books I put up there is one of my tops. I think you had mentioned it before, but it's called $40 Million Slave. And so it talks about this conveyor belt that our kids are put on, that, you know, puts them in a mindset, like, you know, when we see kids, and I think we fall into it as well too, but I think it's a systematic type thing, because we, you know, black folks, you know, and I think overall and as a whole, we grew up in really tough situations. So therefore, we're looking for ways out, you know, whether it be slanging, whether it be playing sports, it's that ball or fall mentality. And so therefore, you have this mindset of kids getting to, you know, that want to go to college and essentially, you know, sacrifice everything to get there. So when they get there, right, and, you know, and don't have what's required and what's needed of them or needed for them to be able to survive, that makes it really tough. And so then to answer your question, bro, in regards to what would that look like, I don't have all, you know, I don't have an exact answer for that, but I know these kids need to be paid. And we all know as business owners, right, our job or our goal is to increase profit, to decrease, you know, what's going out, right, our expenses. And, you know, when we have employees or independent contractors that work for us, our job is to pay them just enough money so that they'll stay. Like, we don't want to pay them so they get rich, right? Because that's not necessarily the goal of owning the business.
But
so that's still
it's not even about the kids. I mean, the kids getting rich. I mean, I feel like they can at least cap it. So let's just say so-and-so comes in, they're a player for whatever squad, right? They're whatever, running back or whatever. And say the most that you could pay, they could cap say the most you could pay him in his freshman year is whatever, 30 grand. Outside of whatever, that doesn't include scholarships, that doesn't include whatever. So 30 or 40 grand. Then maybe sophomore year they can up it by 10, so it goes 40, 50, and so on and so forth.
What about endorsement?
That's huge as well too. Now they just gain the right to the name and likeness as well too. So now players can profit off of that, which is good.
They can
like signatures. So they can profit off their name and likeness, and so essentially like them signing autographs.
Oh, so they can do that now.
Yeah, so their jerseys or like them being on for, because that was another thing I remember.
Can they do like public speaking engagements?
I believe so. Yes, because so that being their name and their likeness, and so and I remember being in college and playing the NCAA football game and seeing myself on the game. And I'm like, you know, and we were just happy, pumped up. Yeah. But I thought about it later. I'm like, they ain't paying us. Like, they're paying NFL players to be on there. Yeah. So they'll be compensated for that as well, too. And so that's a huge piece for them to be able to do that. And then my apologies, bro. I don't know if I interrupted you.
Oh, no. I think, if they put a cap on it or something like that. Because the likeness, you can't even do that as an NFL player. Like if you notice, like when Peyton Manning was doing commercials out here, he could wear blue and orange.
Right.
But it can't say, like, I can't have the NFL logo, can't say the Denver Broncos. So even at the NFL label, but at least you can kind of use the likeness. You just can't use those licensed logos, because obviously you got to start breaking off bread to that squad or whatever.
So a lot of the players now would make sense for them to have either agent, manager out there finding them work. Whereas when you were in school,
they can do it. So
you can't have an agent. You got an agent?
Right.
You have a what? We didn't talk.
All right,
and we're taking that from you.
And that may not even. I mean, that may not even be the solution with the capping of for the pay. But I mean, I just feel like they got to do more for these. They got to do more for these kids. And that's the thing too is even though it's college, the vast majority of them are still. I mean, they all have the age of everybody in here, right? So all these guys are like 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. You know what I mean? These are all still young people doing the football thing, doing whatever.
Right.
Or basketball or volleyball, you know, he or she, but they're not getting paid nothing. But the colleges are profiting. I mean, big money. And here's the thing too: not everybody goes pro. In fact, the vast majority ain't gonna go pro. So you better get your degree, in whatever. I mean, since you in school, since you in college, and then because if you get an injury, like you blow out your leg, elbow, whatever. I mean,
it's not guaranteed at all. And I think that's a big piece as well too, is ensuring that, because like I said before, so the NCAA is $1 billion business. These colleges are $100 million, business. That's how much they're profiting every year. What corporation would pay their top executive like, $40,000, $50,000 a year? They wouldn't get anybody to work. It just wouldn't happen. Yeah. But we expect our kids, right, to be. I mean, without them, these schools wouldn't be making the money. But we expect our kids to be able to come in and just play for a college education. And you know, when none of us would go to a top, knowing who we are. First of all, it'd be tough for us to be employees again. But none of us would go to a $1 million, $1 billion corporation and they offer us $40,000 and we accept it. It just wouldn't happen. You know, these top execs are getting $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 a year. So I think proportion to, I think maybe the answer, I think a good starting place is to look at, you know, what's proportion, how much are these schools making, and then based on that, then paying the top revenue generating sports, which like you said, are football, basketball, and some sports, you know, maybe baseball. But then the question is as well too, then it's the gender inequality piece as well too. And so it's like, you know, because women's sports don't generate as much money. So it's like, how much are we going to pay them less?
I mean,
how does that look?
So that's the argument clear across the board.
Right. Nobody watches that movie, man.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the argument. I mean,
You know?
the gender inequality pay is that's a big deal regardless.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can see that. I mean, so in the real world, if you're an executive, whether you're male or female, absolutely should be equal pay. I mean, if you're crunching numbers and doing whatever.
Right.
I can at least see in sports how much is your specific sport generating, and then based off the percentage, 10% of what's generated goes out towards salary or how, you know, whatever. That I could get.
Right.
That I'd understand. But again, the whole big piece of it is. In college, they're not getting anything, irregardless of gender, irregardless of whatever. They're just not getting no money.
Right.
And like you said, they're generating all. You know. So anyway, okay. So obviously, we don't have all the answers.
No.
There's so many moving parts too.
It is,
Then you ask. You could even ask the question: does every person on the team get the same amount?
Right.
So you got the top guy who's just in the spotlight. Now the dude that no one knows, does he get the same dollar amount?
I think there'd have to be a range of pay because, like, even in the NFL, like the kicker ain't getting. Look, the kicker of the Patriots ain't getting as much as Tom Brady. I think everybody knows why. I mean, so I don't think it'd be the same. But they just got to get something.
Yeah,
you know what
something.
I mean?
Right.
Because in every other industry, every other business. Everybody gets something. The guy cleaning the toilets is still getting a check. The guy running the entire restaurant, he's getting a check, and everybody in between. So if you're bringing in revenue, you're doing your part to bring in revenue for the company, for the organization. You should get compensated, and because it's college. First of all, scholarship ain't enough, and as we said, everybody on the field ain't getting a full ride scholarship anyway. So some are red shirting on, some are partial scholarship, some are nothing.
How many? How many are
on the team?
Are scholarships?
So
I mean, is it 53 players on the team on football?
So it's 53 so for the NFL. So I believe so in college there's 80 to 100 players on each team. I forgot how many.
80 to 100 players per team?
Yeah. So in college there's way more players in college that you have on the team. But then you look at it from that perspective as well too. It's just like, how do you then differentiate the the players that are doing really well and the players that aren't playing as much, and how much you give those players that are balling at the top level, high level, and opposed to the players that really aren't. But then just an example, just kind of to bring this forward as well too, just the NBA. You guys remember like back in the day, kid like Kobe Garnett, they were going straight from high school to the NBA, and they stopped that, right? Because colleges were losing money. They tried to make it seem like they wanted the kids to get the college education.
Hey, when that was going on, and everybody's like, well, you need something to fall back on. I'm going to tell you right now, if I'm a senior in high school and I get signed for $10 million, I'm falling back on cash. Right.
That's nice and cushy.
Yeah. All they need to do, for that, all you need to do is just make sure they got a good accountant and a financial advisor.
That's it. Yeah.
But look, them athletes, I mean, we can get into the whole Mayweather conversation, but I ain't going to do that. But, so this is, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this here.
Sure. Good conversation.
Go, because that'll be on for days. I'm already going to get hit for the Mayweather thing. I know. Hit the bell, grab that subscribe button if you would for me, please. Hit the like. Let us know what we can do better. Let us know what you want us to talk about. And look at what look what you can do to kind of get some of these college athletes paid. And if you're a college athlete, apparently they changed the laws a little bit, so you can make a little money off of some public speaking engagements. You can make some money off of your autograph. So do that, but push for more. But anyway, this is Mr. Kelly with The Rock, DSharp, Good to the Hood, and we'll see you. Peace.